Hello one and all, this is my review of My Hero Academia, chapter 266, Happy Life, and just Jesus freaking Christ, I'm in tears right now over this freaking ending. I mean, seriously. I mean, I kind of guessed for a while Twice was going to die, but just this death was so tragic, so perfect, so amazing. I mean, just his last moments, as Toga holds him and says, "Thanks for saving me." He died a hero's death, despite him being a villain, despite him being on the side trying to destroy the entire world. In this moment, he was just as much a hero to Toga as Deku is to Eri, and that's just so utterly perfect. It really makes you question what it means to be a hero, what it means to be on the right side when a person like this, when a person just wants to protect his friends, is viewed as the villain, as the bad guy. God, it was heartbreaking. I mean, as he wiped the dirt off her face and returned her handkerchief, just, oh my freaking lord, this is, just, God, that was hard to read. That was really hard to read. And, you know, once it was done, like I said, I cried. I'm tearing up a little right now, but afterwards, I was just kind of dumbstruck. I kind of just sat there for a while, just staring out into nothingness, like, did that really just happen? Almost like I was in disbelief what I just read. It was, yeah, it hurt. It hurt quite a bit, and I mean, it makes a lot of sense because, and like I said, though, I have been theorizing he would die for a while now because, quite frankly, he is way too freaking OP. I mean, yeah, here Hawks is able to beat him because Hawks was there as he was starting to make clones, but if he had, you know, the space and the time to really start mass producing those clones, he could cover an entire town, heck, maybe even all of Japan by himself. He is just too powerful. He needed to be taken out, and quite frankly, I'm almost glad it happened now before whatever the League of Villains does next, because they're going to start doing some very awful things in the near future, and it would be much harder to like Twice after seeing him do those things, after seeing him take part in that. Yeah, he probably killed a bunch of people in the whole villain arc, but those people weren't themselves a villain. I didn't really care about them. In fact, when the arc started, I'm like, all right, please, let's just kill everyone in this city. They all kind of annoy me. So for him to die before any of that awfulness has to happen is, in a small way, a blessing. But what I am really, truly, utterly terrified of right now is Toga. I mean, she just lost the person that she truly did care about. Someone she considered a friend, someone who cared about her, someone who spent his last moments defending her, saving her, being a hero for her. What is this going to do to her already fragile psyche? I just feel like next chapter she is going to break in a way that is going to be terrifying. And I think this might be how they end up winning the battle here today, because I'm going to assume she has some of Twice's blood somewhere on her, which means if she can turn into him, if she can mass produce herself, become him, as sort of a memorial, a funeral to him, then she can just create thousands and thousands of copies of herself and literally just win the day for the villains right here, right now. Or at the very least ensure the rest of the League and some of the other high-ranking members manage to escape before the heroes overwhelm them. But yeah, this is going to get very, very freaking dark. And I know that not just because Twice is dead, but because he literally stabbed a hero in the back of the head. Yeah, he straight up killed someone here, and even though it was a hero I don't think we've seen before, that's still a bad element. It means things are going to get very, very bad here, and a whole bunch of people are probably going to die. Also, I just want to say something. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, Twice isn't dead. He just fell. He's probably knocked out or something like that. No, Twice is dead. He is absolutely dead. I mean, if Hirikoshi were to undo everything he's done here to say, oh, no, that was just a prank on you. Haha, he's still alive. That would hurt. That would be very disrespectful to the readers, to fans, to everyone who felt something in the scene. And besides the massive fall he had, in his last panel we see of him, Hawks is about to stab him in the back of the head with a very long blade. So yeah, I'm definitely saying he's dead, as absolutely heartbreaking as that is. And God, his last line is just so utterly perfect. At the end of the last chapter, Hawks was just unlucky that everything kept going bad for him, that things kept screwing up for him over and over again. But to him, that is an insult, because he was lucky enough to meet these people, to meet friends, to meet family that truly cared about him, that gave him a place to belong, that gave him a place where he could be happy. And to say he was unlucky is an insult to all of them, to everything they've done for him. to everything he feels for them. It's just so utterly perfect. Alright, next up, let's talk about Dabi, because this was a very strange chapter for him. I mean, he came in full blast to kill Hawks, and he nearly killed twice as well. I mean, for all his comments about hero scum and all that, he quite nearly killed his own friend here. I mean, his justification was, because I know that heroes must always be ready to save a life. I mean, that's not a very good justification, especially when Hawks, basically straight up killed twice this chapter. So yeah, Dabi's a whole lot of twisted there, and he came very close to murdering twice, which is very, very unnerving. I do not like that. I mean, I do think he cares about Twice when he, tells Twice to make a run for it to go save the others. He gives him this very badass high five, which I really like. But he was also willing to risk his life there. He had just had so much faith in Hawks. I mean, that might also come back to the fact that Hawks and Dabi apparently know each other. Because Dabi was able to make Hawks twitch, make him hesitate, by saying his true name, by saying his real name. So what exactly is the relationship between these two? I mean, it seems like Hawks was raised, or at least trained by the government from a young age to be a secret agent, to be a spy, to be a covert hero, working undercover when necessary to do what must be done like that. I mean, could it be that Dabi was in the same program as him, somehow? The government was also trying to train him, raise him, maybe experiment on him to make better use of his quirk, and maybe that's why he's so burned up like that. Maybe that's where he got the scars from the government's own experiments on him. I mean, that does kind of create an issue, because I'm still fairly convinced he's Endeavor's son, which leads to two very strange possibilities. Either one, Endeavor lent out his son to the government to train him as a super soldier, which, whole lot of questions about that. I mean, it would explain why his family blames him for his death, saying it was a training exercise that went wrong. If it was the government that was training him, they could blame Endeavor for enrolling him in that program. And the other is that for some reason, the government helped Dabi fake his own death so that he could become a covert agent for them. Which just raises so many questions of why the government would intentionally antagonize the number 2 hero in the world. I mean, yes, Dabi had potential to outshine his father, become a stronger hero than he is, but would they really bet so much on the future like that? And if they were to do that, just how would he have escaped? How would he have gotten loose? How did he fake his death? Does the government know he's alive? Because I feel like if the government knows that he's, a covert secret agent that was well trained, they would have told Hawks that. They would have given him a heads up, and I just don't know. I mean, Dabi even says he didn't trust Hawks from the beginning, so did he recognize him? That Hawks didn't recognize Dabi because of how he's changed? I mean, just his quirk and Dabi knowing his name should be enough for Hawks to realize, to recognize, to remember, it's you're XYZ from ZYX. I can't believe how much you've changed over the years. I'm just really not sure right now. It's definitely strange. And this could be the chance for us to finally get confirmation on who Dabi really is. And it could be the case that he is, in fact, not Endeavor's son, despite what we've all been led to believe up to this point. I also did just love Hawks flying outside with the flames, going all the way out, flying back in, and coming back in through the door so we could just take out Twice. I mean, I'm not happy that he took out Twice. I'd much rather Hawks have died here. Like, seriously, I really want Hawks to die here after what he did. I know that's weird to say, but okay. But this was still a really cool move. I really like that. So, yeah, a very sad chapter, very numbing chapter, and just like I said, next chapter is going to be Toga's chapter, Shine, and I'm just so excited and terrified to see how Toga responds to this, how she responds to a person she truly did care about dying in front of her like this. I mean, Big Sis Mag died way back when, and she seemed a little upset about that, but she seems way, way closer to Twice than she was to Big Sis, so I just really don't know. Like I said, I think somehow she has blood on hand, or she's going to be able to eat up the goop that he's collapsed into to become him, to tame his quirks, so she can just use the Sad Man Parade and just bring about an unparalleled level of chaos all around her. This will be her eulogy for him. A dance of destruction and death, of chaos and anarchy that saves their friends, that saves their family. her way of saying goodbye to him, and it's going to be terrifying, and it's going to be carnage, and it's going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see it. But let me think about all this down below. Did you cry this chapter? Were you left just feeling utter sadness, the loss of this man who only wanted to protect the people he truly cared about? Be sure to like and subscribe to the next video, and until then,
peace.